Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Seeking Heaven channel. I'm your host, Tamara Caulder Richardson, a six-time near-death experiencer, as well as an evidential medium and channeler. Welcome to the Seeking Heaven channel. And if you haven't subscribed, do so. Tell your friends, watch past episodes, and also check out, sign up for my newsletter on Academy of Divine Wisdom so you can get the latest events as well as courses, and also a special guest on the show. And today we have a very special guest, and I'm very excited to tell you about not only some things we're going to talk about in this episode, but a course that's coming up, which is called A Comprehensive Study of Galactic Races. And we're here today. I'm going to bring them into the studio, but I'm going to read you a little bit his bio because it's very impressive. And you could read, we're going to put his information so you can read more about him. But Craig Campobasso, he is an award-winning filmmaker, not just a ufologist, but an award-winning filmmaker, Emmy nominated, casting director. He's a UFO researcher, experiencer, starseed, and former guest on Beyond Belief with George Norrie, as well as guest on the History Channel Ancient Aliens. And he's also in the second season of the Travel Channel's UFO Witness, and he's done several episodes on there. And he's an author of multiple books, including the UFO Hotspot Compendium. We just did a webinar, was very successful, on the Academy of Divine Wisdom.com, which is our sponsor. And this is where you're going to see this upcoming course. But he did an excellent course on it was a webinar, and it was fantastic. People wanted more, so now we're going to be offering this course. But I'm going to bring on Craig because I'm going to, I want you to meet him, and I want him to tell you about this this Galactic Races series course he's doing. So welcome, Craig.
Hey, how are you?
I am so happy to have you here. Everybody absolutely loved the and here's your book here, the UFO Hotspot Compendium. And I love all the places to visit before you die or abducted.
Yeah, I love that. The subtitle is great. I didn't write it. The publisher did. I told them whoever did it that was fantastic.
Oh, that's so great. And really it's my roadmap because I'm planning several of these trips to go. I have all of Craig's books. He's got several books. He's going to tell you about that. And they're very well written and produced. And then we had a webinar, I guess it was a month or two ago, and it was really successful. It was fascinating. But Craig, you always make things not just fascinating, but so much fun. So people love it. They really take to you. So now you're doing this new course, which is a study of a comprehensive study of galactic races series, and it's for 4 months. Tell everybody a little bit about it. And by the way, you have that thing floating at the bottom. It tells you where to, you can look at the events, tells you more, and where to sign up. This is a lot. It's very involved because I've been through this journey with you and seeing some of the things that you're going to be talking about. So tell everybody a little bit about that. And then I want to get into a chat with you about your 40 years of experience in this UFO ET field.
Sure, absolutely. So when I was writing the Extraterrestrial Species Almanac, I really was delving into a lot of races that I have studied over the past 40 years. And a lot was from meeting contactees, reading in-depth books, which were done by industry professionals. Colonel Wendell Stevens did over 60 contactee books where he went and actually met with the contactees, got all the information, got it into the book, pictures, so on. That's an amazing feat right there to get over 60 of those books done and out into the public. Also, meeting with abductees, with regressors. The most famed ones are Barbara Lamb, who I did a past life regression with, was amazing. Cool. Also, Yvonne Smith, who is also huge. in it. You know, back in the day, I really followed Bud Hopkins because he was one of the first ones, and John Mack and David Jacobs, and you know, everyone who really got into this field, including Raymond Fowler, who doesn't really get his just due, but you know, he did the Andreessen affair, which was also a big contactee book with positive, what we would call Zeta humans or grays. They look like grays, but they're not evil, they're positive. So anyway, so the publisher came to me saying, we know you are qualified to write this book. And I said, yeah, I sure am. And so I went and I got permission from all these resources that I had, and then compiled the book. And so what we're going to do in this course is we're going to do 4 different modules, right? So module 1 is going to be human extraterrestrials, positive, negative, and neutral. Module 2 is going to be hybrids, but also, what is a hybrid? How do hybrids come into being? There's many different ways of being a hybrid that a lot of people have never thought about. And I never thought about until I was taught, right, as well, of these different things. You know, a lot of these things come from people that I meet who are in high positions of power and things like that, who will share things and that type of thing. I can't share exactly what it is, but I can share a little bit of it. Module 3 will be reptilian races, of course, benevolent, malevolent, and otherwise. And then the 4th module is going to be ultra-dimensional beings and the universal hierarchy. So we're going to be getting into the angelic core, and even going all the way back to a race called the Maramayams, which are from the very first universe created in the very super universe number 1. We live in super universe number 7. There are 7 super universes altogether. It is said there are over 700,000 local universes, ovums, in each of those that are multidimensional. So you can only imagine how vast creation is beyond our even thought or expectation. So what's really fascinating with the Maramayams is that they are from the world where the great I am is actually began. So that is going to be one of the most fascinating talks there in module 4. Now, I think what's really interesting for people that take this course is that, number 1, they're going to learn about galactic history. They're going to learn about a lot of different things that to them, they're seeing in science fiction, they're seeing on television and all of that. But what they don't know is that all of those writers go to all these resources to get it, and then they marry it into science fiction, right? What that does is it gets the population ready to start hearing the information, right? And then when a person decides to step up and create their own higher evolution, they will connect into source, and they will connect into this whole galactic kingdom, and they will then start working from source, removing the ego, and working from their heart for the service to all mankind throughout the universe, right? So what's important is you're going to get a giant dichotomy, right? We're going to get the lower vibratory races that are out there. We're going to get the higher vibratory races and what they do when they're watching over the lower vibratory races, because, you know, a lot of them are in these lower vibratory, they're the experimenters, right? They're experimenting, they're hybridizing. they're creating creatures from animals and humans and animals and grays and this and that. And there are lots of people who have had these kinds of contact also with them, right? There's the lion feline race. There's the Yargans that resemble seals. There's so many different types of things. So all in all, whether you're a believer or not, you will be totally fascinated and amused, and hopefully that it will embark and open your psyche to greater things and to things that get you to start thinking. I remember when my assistant first read my first book, The Autobiography of an Extraterrestrial, I Am Tehran, right? This book here. And she said to me, I never in a million years thought about what was out there in the universe. Never occurred to me. It totally opened me up to want to digest a lot more of this information, because, you know, we want to know what our galactic history is. Where did we come from? Look, we just didn't plop down on a planet and this is our only lifetime. I mean, we are immortal beings. We are literally, the galactic community knows that we all are born from the same primordial atom, and therefore we are all one in this whole big creation, right? Now, there are differences, of course. Some of us are struggling, some of us are doing this, and some of us are doing that. But that's what we signed up to do so that we could learn.
We could learn, yeah.
Right? So everyone signs up for these kinds of things. So, you know, we don't want anybody putting blame or things like this on certain things that are happening. But in the sense that everything in creation was created from one, and so therefore the many are one, is how you look at it in a simplistic kind of term. Now, the older races, the more advanced races, are here to help, and that's what they're doing through consciousness raising programs. So Starseeds doing this course is going to be a huge activation. We even have a 12 chakra DNA activation meditation that you're going to be able to go through and see. And so there's a whole lot that's going to be fascinating, and all of that. And what's great is, what I loved is how you set this up, is that people who buy the course can come back and watch it anytime. They have as many unlimited views as they want to watch, you know, just like Netflix, right?
Yeah, it's just like Netflix, where you watch a series. You can wait till it comes out, or you can, or when all the episodes come out, you can just binge watch it. And I'm going to put up, while we're talking, where's our heads? I'll stick my head out here, and point to myself. And point to myself. You can point to yourself, but you can see.
Where is it? There we go.
Okay, the other finger. Wait, hey!
I can't even figure that out.
Yeah, it's opposite, whatever. Anyway, so the comprehensive study of galactic races. So it's a 4 months. And to explain, I've been getting questions in, and people are writing the Academy of Divine Wisdom.com, which sign up for the newsletter, because you get a free 30-minute Christ-like meditation just for signing up. And that keeps you updated on events and so forth. This is under the events section. You can click and you can register. It is $199, or you can make, 4 payments of $49.75. However, it's 4 months. Once it does come out, so it would be the second Saturday of every month, and there's the schedule that's on there. You can watch constant replays. You can watch it over and over again. And honestly, it is quite a bit of information, and it's a lot to take in. So you're welcome to do that. I wanted to just put that up there so you can see it looks like a serious what is it? It is a what were those blue beings?
Oh,
Octurian?
those are Andromedans.
Andromedans is touching your
Andromedans.
shoulder, it looks like.
Yes, it does, doesn't it? Yeah.
He's like, "Hey, buddy." That's what it looks like.
Hey, don't forget me in this course.
Yeah, yeah, don't you?
We didn't
And
forget you.
no, there's some Andromedans for sure, blue Andromedans, and I'm not sure who the lady is, but
That's a Pleiadian.
oh, yeah, that's
Yeah.
true. Oh, that makes sense. Okay. But yeah, let me put this back up so you can see that. But tell people that are why they could possibly be activated because we've been talking about it and I'll be fine. I'll be, kind of marching along and then you'll say something about a technology or who knows what it is and I will have memory and I'll like bam and it just really pulls you out of to why you're here and you realize wow
Yes.
I'm bigger than just this person sitting here and it could happen just by the information alone could activate your recall and remembering things it's done it for me. I didn't plan that to happen but it keeps happening because it is to me it's very validating. It's not frightening. It's very exciting and it's very comforting because there's a part of me that already knows that. That's why people are attracted to this information because they already kind of know that.
That's right. I mean, for me, it was a simple word. One simple word activated me way back over 40 years ago.
Really?
And
A
it
word?
was Pleiades. It was the constellation. And I literally wept and I wept and I sobbed and I sobbed and I didn't know why. I had no idea why. And then as my awakening continued, of course, I understood it and the connection and all of that. So what's interesting in the autobiography of an ET books, the 4-book series, people began writing me and telling me that they got activated by reading that book and that they're all the books are they have illustrations of all of the extraterrestrials and people. I knew I had to do that and I spent a whole lot of money doing that because
It's first class. It's very nice.
Connected also into the images and they were like, I know these beings, and it activated them as well. The same in the ET Species Almanac because it's fully illustrated and we do have some pictures of real extraterrestrials taken by contactees as well that are in the book, and one that I took myself, which will be in the course, which was in an abduction case. I had flown back to the Midwest to research with the abductee, and I actually got one of the beings on camera. We could not see it with the physical eye, but it did go on camera. It's a phenomenon where it will capture things on camera. Also, if you have a pane of glass, like in an 8x10 photo, if you hold it up to the sky, if there's a ship cloaked in the sky, you'll see it.
Now say that one more time. I want to do it. Okay, so you do what now?
You have a pane, like let's say you take out a piece of 8x10 glass in a frame, right? Because you can hold it, right? Maybe put some tape around, around the edges so you don't hurt yourself. You can go outside, hold it up, and move it across the sky. If there is a ship that's cloaked in the sky, you will see it through the glass.
Why is that?
It's the same when looking through your camera. It's the same when doing any of that. Like when I was at that hotel that Stephen King wrote the thing about in Colorado, when I was in the basement, I would look, they would say, this is where a portal was. When I held my phone up, thousands and thousands of orbs were flying at me like that.
Oh my gosh. Really?
So it's really, really fascinating stuff. We will be showing the picture
Oh,
that I took during the course as well,
oh, that's
and one of the beings that the contactee took as well.
so. Do you think it's a very similar premise to people that, for example, ghost hunt and you cannot see the spirit beings or
Right.
whatever the paranormal entity
Yeah.
is, but when you put the a camera or even just a simple cell phone camera. Well, they're not simple anymore. They're pretty advanced, some of these, but you put that up, it will show. Do you think it's because they're multi-dimensional beings and they're not in a physical form as such as us right now?
I don't know what the reason is, to tell you the truth, but it's like this is the interdimensional device, a camera, a video camera, a piece of glass, something like that reveals it, right?
Hmm.
It's really, really, really fascinating. So um there's so
Okay.
much new technology going on. There's even an app that when you're talking to a spirit or an extraterrestrial, that
Okay.
it actually will take their picture, right? It's through white noise, like you receive EVPs.
Sure.
And through that white noise, you will see the outline of a picture of what they look like.
That is not
It is so fascinating.
really.
I just did it at
Does it work?
well, when I was at Bell Rock. Yeah, you have to have an Android phone to do it. And I have an iPhone, but
Mm,
my
hmm.
friend had it, and so we were by Bell Rock, and um, I said, are there any positive, benevolent extraterrestrials above us?
Hmm.
And a man's voice came through and said, I'm from outer space. And that's his picture.
Oh wow, he kind of looks like Ringo Starr.
Yeah, a little bit, right?
He seems friendly.
Yes. And then another friend of mine, I told her
Oh
about the
man.
app. And she asked, now she's in England,
Okay.
and she asked if there were any positive extraterrestrial beings, and this is what she got.
Oh, looks like a female.
It's a female, and she said, um, hi Sal, that's her name. Hi Sal, sis, we love you.
Oh my gosh, that's just
So
beautiful.
this technology is breaking between all the barriers now, right?
Oh wow, that
So
yeah.
it's becoming more and more evident that we know that all of these things exist, and we know the world is ready because everybody's
Mhm.
into psychic and paranormal phenomenon, which actually graduates you into UFO phenomenon,
It
right?
is true, and so many of the near-death experiencers that I've had, which, I've had many near-death experiences, they'll tell you they won't tell some of them will not come out publicly, don't know why, but
Right.
they'll say, "Oh, yeah, I'm actually not human," or they'll go, "I remember," and, I don't wanna get anyone in trouble here, so I can't use a specific example, but I'll say, "Blah, blah, blah," and they'll go, "Yeah," or I'll say, "You're from planet so and so." They go, "How do you know?" I'm like, it changes you once you basically the
Once
filters
you
are
know,
gone. The
right.
filters. But this is common. They don't talk about it. And a lot of UFO type people that will also say, "Oh, by the way, I've had NDEs." To me, it's just a consciousness shift, any type of
Right. Right.
OBE, Kundalini, NDE. But if we just raise our vibration into a place of neutrality and love, we can get there
Yes.
that way too,
We
right?
can, and the thing is that these are literally our brothers and sisters, just like
Yes, they're our
on
family.
Earth, and we are becoming galactic spiritual beings by elevating own consciousness so that we can match theirs. That's what all the consciousness raising programs are on Earth through starseeds and other factions. And when that gets raised, that's how we connect in. And then once the world shifts over in consciousness, then, I mean, can you imagine galactic travel again?
Oh my gosh.
I mean, that would be like so amazing to go and visit other planets and to learn from them. You know, there's teachers here that are from other planets as well, and they do teach people astrally.
Yes,
So
yes, I understand. They teach me astrally a lot. They've taught
yes,
me a lot
exactly.
of my abilities astrally, and I wake up,
Yes,
sometimes they're still talking. And as you've mentioned before, that whether it's physically, astrally, it's still teaching.
it's
You
still
still gotta,
teaching.
you're still
You're
going
still,
to learn.
you're
So,
right.
and I think the timing is now. People are becoming more aware. And what I always say, if there's any fear, it doesn't have to do with this, because what is it? 99% of these ET or ultra dimensional beings are very positive, and we do share some
Yeah,
DNA. We are related, and they care about us. There's a love connection, which I know some people don't, but it's personal. They care about us, and I know when I saw my ships with my husband, that was fun. About a year ago, I felt such a love connection. I felt so, it was the most beautiful. It was just like a reunion. And can you imagine if we raise our consciousness to make them feel comfortable? Because
right.
we're more duality here. We're moving out of that
Yeah,
to ascending. It's time. Everyone is in agreement. It's time. And so, not to mention all the prophecies, but it is happening that we will be able to communicate with them, and they will feel safe enough to be able to intervene with us more. But they are intervening with people now. And I think this is why it's so important right now with this course, is that you can learn the different races. There's so many, but
yes.
these are the popular ones. Although some of them, quite honestly, I haven't heard myself. Some of these are new to me. And
Hmm.
again, here it is, not to have your name over that. Okay, that makes it a little better. But seriously, this is an amazing course. It's something that it's fascinating, but it's more than that. I think that there are people that the information, you go into technologies, you go into not only the different types of races, but some of the attributes technology wise, and also
Right.
full
Physical characteristics, belief systems,
belief
cosmic
systems.
agendas, technologies, consciousness abilities, dimensional capacities as well.
And then you can
So,
see how there is a respect and an admiration between most of the races. And really, we need to have that more here. And I think we can learn
yeah,
so much from them. But once they know you're ready, they know it's by, you talk about a little bit about this, but about the frequency. I know that's something you're going to talk about more about, but the
yeah,
frequency, they can sense our frequency and they know who
yes.
we are, but we just need to be able to be in tune that we can sense their frequency too. And when
That's
they're
right. That's right. I think this sort of sums it up. This is the last thing that I wrote in the foreword to the ET Species Almanac. Once our world rejoins universal society, our insight into how these races think will be of a great advantage to us. We'll know which races to trust, which to be aware of, and how to perceive once cosmic integration has begun out in the open. Because, the thing is if you don't have an almanac, you don't have a guide,
Mm-mm.
when this happens, and it could happen overnight, no one knows how any of that's going to happen, right? Because it said that all the treaties were signed, that they were not going to view themselves. Those are now expired. So
Okay, is that what's going on?
ET
Mm.
can do whatever they want at this point, right? But they're not going to rush in and do anything of that to harm anyone. It's going to be done through conscious integration with each
Yes.
person bringing up their own thing, and then that's what shifts over,
Okay.
and then we will We will talk about all of the wonderful teachers that will be set upon the earth at that time in one of the modules as well, that are part earth and part ET.
Well, that makes sense. So they're basically reaching out to each individual one, getting to increase awareness, and it's people like you and me speaking out our truth, and then others coming out and going, by the way, I haven't told anybody. I've been having these dreams.
Oh,
They're not
I
dreams.
hear that all the time.
Do you?
I've talked about my experiences from day one, all my friends, everybody. And at first they didn't understand them. They were a little terrified of them because they didn't understand them.
Sure.
But as time went on, they would look at me and smile. They go, God, way back when you were a little odd, but now I'm just like you.
I used to listen to go, oh, this UFO thing. Oh,
Yeah,
it's kind of interesting.
right.
And now I'm like, I've turned into one of those people. So
Yeah.
I know some people are like, what happened to Tamara? You know what? Here's the thing. It's important that we all come to a place within ourselves that we love ourselves and that we allow ourselves to evolve. And if that
Right.
evolution takes us off planet, then hey.
Well, let me tell you just this. Even though my friends, a few might have said that in the beginning, I held UFO parties at my house in the 80s, right? Where I bring a ufologist. We had VHS machines and they would bring the latest footage and they would talk about all of the cases. Do you know that in my little, back then, 1-bedroom apartment, there were 100 people squeezed in like this, hanging on every word the ufologist said?
Well, I tell you what, it's taken what 40 years, but you
Yeah.
are extremely popular now, Craig, and you're going to be even more popular when we have full disclosure,
Yeah.
which I don't know how it's going to happen. I really
I
don't,
don't either.
but I've been told it's going to happen and soon.
Right.
Like 2 or 3 years. I don't know why or how, or no, I could be wrong, but this is going to help everybody. It is their guide, and to not have people panic, but to be excited because these beings are beautiful. And
Yeah.
we need to trust our heart, and we need to feel things with our heart, and like we do with people that we
Right,
meet.
right.
You
And
know, do we?
that's why there's not only starseeds, but now there's experiencers. Because once they experience something, it becomes a part of their makeup, and then they go and they research and they learn more and they experience. And that experiencer with the connection into the galactic community is happening more and more and more, besides with starseeds. So it's now merging out into the general population.
I agree. You would be surprised. Well, no, because you hear about it too. But I have regular people that now say, "Oh, by the way, I didn't really have anyone to talk to, but these things that have happened to me," and I'm finding it's pretty common. Another thing that's common, and this is why we need to know this information that Craig is so kindly offering. I mean, his years of expertise on this is coming to life. So, and I would also recommend his books, which are amazing. Is that this is something that is our birthright, that we really
Right.
need to know about. So make sure, by the way, before we end off, that you do get a copy of all of Craig's books, but they're phenomenal. And it's funny, the first time that I think it was the first book that I read of yours was the Extraterrestrial Species Almanac, and I was reading through it, and you referred to me by someone. Anyway, I'm reading through it, and it was at Kindle. It was late at night, and I had this gulp in my throat, and I went, "Oh my gosh, this is real." And I went, because I was looking, oh, this will be just kind of fun to read. And then I went, some of this is channeled, not necessarily even by you, but information. I knew it was real.
Mhm.
And I
Right.
said, oh my gosh. And I was just kind of shocked. It's very detailed. And so it's good news because especially the technology and the things they have to help, this is going to just help this is going to help planet Earth. This is going to help, I mean, in a big way. So, Craig, you're phenomenal. Everybody support him. Oh, and you've got some exciting news about
right.
documentary. You got, why don't you close with your exciting news, and then we'll end up with inviting everybody to the class, which starts January 14th. And again, academyofdivinewisdom.com/events. You don't have to be there. If you're too busy or working or whatever, have plans, you could look at the replays. But tell everybody about your exciting news before we end off.
Sure. So for the last couple of years, I've been working on the Extraterrestrial Species Almanac documentary. So it should be out later this year. And we're going to have the real live contactees, hybrids, all these great people that I've talked about. It's a documentary that is going to be unlike any other that's ever been done. It's not your usual suspects. You're going to hear right from the mouth of the people that it happened to as well, and who they are, etc. So that's very exciting. And then if anybody wants any updates on any of my stuff, they can go to Autobiography of an ET. Yeah, Autobiography of an ANET.com. You can hit the subscribe button and sign up, and you'll get stuff. You can also purchase, I will personalize and sign copies for you of the Extraterrestrial Species Almanac, the UFO Hotspot. And then that is under other books in the tab. And then on the home page is my 4-book series, The Autobiography of an Extraterrestrial Saga. And so you can buy those books in softcover or hardcover on the homepage, and I'll sign that, of course, to everybody as well. You get little goodies if you buy all 4 books. You can do it with one click on the homepage. If anybody's interested in my other project, Stranger at the Pentagon, about Valiant Thor, you can go to strangeratthepentagon.com. Excuse me. I have all of Dr. Frank Strange's, who wrote the book and who was friends with Valiant Thor, a created being. All of his 4 books, posters, everything are there on the website as well. Those are all out of print books. So I have a lot of the last remaining copies.
Well, and also Stranger at the Pentagon was phenomenal. I thought it was
the movie, right? It's a short film. It's
a short film, but you can rent that also there, and it is phenomenal.
Yeah,
it won a lot of awards too.
It did, yes, it did, and it's also on Amazon Prime if anybody has that. So
well, I tell you, I love the work that you're doing to educate others about just a little bit. There's so many galactic races, but the fact that you're going to reveal them in detail, and the beautiful artwork and everything that you put together for this, and you're doing it through your books, through your writings, through your conversations and talks like this, as well as with this course, which and the documentary. So you're really trying to do your effort to let people know what's out there, and it's exciting when you find out. It's so exciting. So sign up. I'm going to put this up one last time. Sign up. Tell your friends. I don't think, to my knowledge, there's nothing.
Ooh, I can't even do it. I can point at myself.
There's nothing that's been done like this so far that I know of. There's nothing.
No, nothing.
Take advantage of this. Look, thank you so much, Craig. Much love. And sign up, everybody.
Yes, we hope to see you there.
Okay, bye.
Bye.
Please subscribe, like, and make comments, and support this channel by becoming a member. Thank you for your continued support.